Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Friday, June 24th, and we have lots of updates, so much to talk about. So I'd like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members. It is wonderful to have you all here, and also welcome to all of you who are new. We are really glad that you found our channel. If anyone hasn't subscribed yet, we would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. We would love to have you in our Let's Go family, and I think that you are going to really enjoy being a part of not only the Let's Go family, but the amazing community that we have here. So first of all, I want to start off with an update about our cruise. If you're new around here, tomorrow, June 25th, we're set to sail on the Koningsdam of Holland America, round trip out of Vancouver to Seattle. The change is, I'm really sad to say, is that Gordon can't come. As you might recall, we just spent 3 weeks in Europe and we've been back for 2 now, but he has so much going on at work that he just can't take another week right now. So we talked about it and we've decided that I'm going to go ahead and go. I committed to go on Holland America Seminar at Sea. That's how we got this chance in the first place. And I'm certain that I'm going to learn so much about Holland America by participating in that, as well as I am so excited to see Holland America. I'm excited to see the ship and just everything that goes with that. I am anxious to see how it compares, of course, with Princess, because I've sailed on Princess 14 times now, but I also just want to see what Holland America is as her own line, the experience that cruise line offers, and just how their ships are, just everything. And so I am really looking forward to it still. I really am going to miss Gordon. It's just not going to be quite the same, but I'm determined that I'm going to enjoy it anyway, and he is going to be with me a lot on the phone. So we're still planning to try to do the sailaways just as we had planned. He's sending all of the gear with me and he's given me instruction, and hopefully I'll be able to do everything right. In the very least, I can do it with my phone. And so I wanted to let you know that, and if a day goes by that you don't hear from me, it just means that the internet is not such that I can upload anything, but I will do my best to try to do a good job of still taking you all with us. I anticipate that things are going to go very smoothly with that, but I just wanted to let you know just in case. So that's where we stand. So this evening I'm still going to fly up to Vancouver, and tomorrow I'll be getting on the ship. This is the first time that I've gone on a cruise by myself. I usually go with our daughter when I haven't gone with Gordon, and I've gone with my, I guess Gordon's come when I've gone with my sister and her husband. So that's the update that we've got on that. I wanted to add that the weather is looking spectacular up there. I looked it up, and tomorrow in Vancouver, it's supposed to be 80 degrees. And then in Juneau on Monday, it is supposed to be, 73 degrees and only a 5% chance of rain, which would be fantastic for our excursion up into the fjord and up to see the Sawyer glaciers. I hope that it holds. I hope that it's beautiful weather for that. It will be the only time that we have been in Juneau that it hasn't rained, at least some, if it doesn't rain, and so I hope that it rains after we get back from the excursion if it's got to rain, but it'll be great no matter what. And then on Tuesday in Skagway, if you can believe it, it's supposed to be 78 degrees with only a 13% chance of rain. And then Ketchikan Thursday is supposed to be 70 degrees with only a 7% chance. And then on Wednesday is the day that we are going to be in Glacier Bay. And if we happen to have good enough internet or, Wi-Fi on the ship that I can go live, I'll do that for just a little bit so that you can see everything. One thing I'm so excited about is they say that on Holland America, they open up the bow of the ship so you get to go right up on front there. And I am so excited to get to see that. So hopefully that will work out. But I just wanted to let you know about that. Hopefully we really will have this beautiful of weather. So now we'll talk about some more updates. First of all, I wanted to give you an update. Yesterday I told you all about what was going on with the Discovery Princess up there in Skagway, how there was the Rockslide and they had to hurry and pull away from the dock there because they were right next to where the rocks, I should say boulders, were falling. And our Let's Go family member, Michelle, who was so kind to send me that update right off, has sent a follow-up email, and I really appreciate it because it gives us the first-hand information information about it rather than just someone reporting on what someone said that someone told them. So anyway, she said that after the landslide, the captain called back the 12 people who had apparently already got off the ship, and they think that it was the onshore crew. Then they pulled the Discovery out of the port area there and dropped anchor, and then made arrangements with the Westerdam to share tenders in order to help tender the passengers into Skagway. So I was really happy. Everybody still got to do their excursions there, so that's wonderful. But the ship did leave 3 hours later than they had planned. Oh, I guess dozens of excursions were canceled. So some of the excursions were able to go. They were able to ride their train tour, it sounds like. It said it took several hours for passengers wanting to go back ashore to disembark via the tender. The Discovery was believed to have been scraped by rocks, so a safety inspection was performed and everything seemed to be okay. It says apparently many large ships expected after Thursday have now been forced to cancel stops in Skagway. Authorities have called for structural engineers to fly in to determine how safe the dock is now. Huge chunks of the dock were demolished by the falling boulders and safety rails completely crushed. A forklift used by the ships was flattened. Workers removed the debris by the end of the day, the boulders and everything, so the area now looks clean on the concrete dock area. And she said that probably really helps so that as other cruise passengers arrive and pull into the other docks, they don't see a scary situation over there. So thank you again so very much, Michelle. I really appreciate that. And once again, I am so grateful, really grateful that no one was harmed by that. And I do appreciate the updates, so thank you. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is I mentioned that Carnival Corporation, they do own Holland America, was going to be having their earnings call today. So I just wanted to tell you a few of the highlights from it. There were a few things that I think were missing, but to be honest, I popped in and out. I've been tearing around here and a little bit off my game since Gordon's not coming. But I tried to listen to as much as I could, and I'll try to follow up and listen to it again and catch everything. So if any of you listen and have anything to add in the comments, that would just be wonderful. But the CEO, his name is Arnold Donald, was on the call with all of the analysts and told them that he thinks that they are doing really well. They think that they are starting to get back to the point where where they're making money again. They say that the demand is really strong. And one thing that I thought was really interesting is we're all concerned with the recession that has clearly began. They feel like cruising is very recession-proof pretty much, or recession-resistant, because people still love to take their vacations. And compared to a lot of other vacations, it's considered to be a good deal for what you get. You can travel and have everything included. And so they don't think that the recession is going to have a negative impact on cruising. Then another thing that he pointed out is, I thought it was really interesting, so Carnival Corporation is moving a couple, I think it's 2 right now, of the Costa ships, which Costa is their Italian line. They are going to move them over to sail in the United States. And I thought the reason was so interesting. He said it's because so many of a huge chunk of Costa's business was in China. And that market, as you maybe know or may not know, is closed right now. And so instead of leaving those ships that used to be more over in China, instead of leaving them in Europe where the demand is not quite as strong as it is here for sailings in the United States, they are going to move the ships over here. And I believe the first one is going to start sailing out of New York, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought it was really interesting because they are going to try to keep the Italian cruise line experience like you would regularly experience on those ships, and then kind of put on top of that the Carnival fun ship kind of experience that people are used to with Carnival. So I am really anxious to hear how that goes. I hope that we get a chance to try that out. I'll have to see how it goes for me going by myself. We'll just kind of have to see, but I think it sounds like kind of a cool thing, because usually you would have to go to Europe and sail from Europe to have that Italian cruise ship experience. And there there are some marked differences. I know that I have watched videos from several people that have sailed on Costa before, and there are some differences, not bad differences, just differences. And if you've gone to Europe and traveled around there much, there are differences between the two. And I really like the differences. I really love everything in the United States, and I love everything there. So it works out kind of nice. But anyway, so that was a big thing that I think that they are trying to do to try to insulate themselves from any downturn in demand and try to figure out how to best use their ships to be able to carry as many passengers as possible from a profitability standpoint. And then he also mentioned that since 2019, especially during the pandemic and everything that ensued there, they have gotten rid of 23 of their less efficient ships while adding 9 larger, more efficient ships, so that they are able to include more premium priced staterooms while reducing their overall operating expenses, including fuel, which is really huge right now, based on a per passenger basis. So those are really the headlines. I was a little bit surprised. I wanted to talk about Jeffrey's comment yesterday. There were no announcements, at least when I was on the call, that I heard about any changes in any positions within the corporation. But I could have missed that. And so let me know if you heard of any. And that brings me to yesterday. I just wanted to say I apologize if I was a little cranky. I just feel sad when I feel like the people that need help aren't quite getting the help that they need, and that really doesn't apply to me. You all are more important to me, and what happens to you, I feel like, than what's going on with my future cruise credits. I was a little bit indignant, so I apologize. Jeffrey, our Let's Go family member, Cruising for One, he's got a blog called that, so look it up and take a look. He pointed out that, all of these employees are just trying to do the best with the tools that they've been given. And I can see how it would be really hard to be a customer service rep and you have all of these people calling you and you are not given the tools that you need to try to make them happy and do your best to take care of them. So thank you, Jeffrey, for reminding us all about that. I don't think that it gives them license to be unkind or curt with people, but everybody manages stress a different way, and I get that. So I just wanted to bring that up, and really, thanks again, Jeffrey, for reminding us all about that. Now, the next thing that I want to talk to you a little bit more is we have got more information here about the strike that is going on in the UK, and it sounds like it is going to be a way bigger deal than maybe we had heard. We've got a Let's Go family member who is flying out actually today, and they are flying over to board the Island Princess to go on a Baltic cruise. And so Flying Delta, they received this email yesterday, and I really appreciated this information, and I think it's valuable to anyone who is going to be going to the United Kingdom either this week or any of the weeks, like really this summer, because they are anticipating more strikes, everyone. I've heard that from several people who live in the United Kingdom as well as in some news reports. So this is a big deal. So it says that strikes are planned for the Transportation for London rail system throughout the week from Tuesday, which was this Tuesday that just happened, the 21st, through Sunday, June 26th. Most of the national rail services and the transportation services there are going to be either disrupted or closed. So they list off the Tube, the London Overground, the Elizabeth Line, the London Trams, the National Rail nationwide, not just in London, but nationwide. Also, buses and any other services which are running will be extremely busy. And so it says the disruption is expected to be widespread and affect more than just the rail network. Heavy traffic may occur and taxi, bus, and other transportation delays are likely. They go on to say that airport disruptions are very likely, as the employees, whether it's the crew or other employees, might have a really hard time getting to work. And so really, we don't know what all of the ramifications are of this strike yet. And so we're just going to have to keep an eye on the news. And so I wanted to suggest that if you are going to be traveling over to the United Kingdom soon, you might want to figure out how you are going to get from the airport down to the port, or just whatever travel you intend to do, but figure it out soon and get yourself a reservation. I was looking before I did this video, and a lot of the places allow you to cancel within a certain amount of time. And so if it ends up that it's getting really close to when you're going to go and there's not going to be in a strike and you want to cancel, you can cancel, because otherwise it'll be great to have a reservation, because I think a lot of the car services and Uber, I think a lot of those are going to book up and it's going to be harder to get. I know that a Let's Go family member mentioned in a comment yesterday that they usually like to take an Uber from the airport down to the train station in Southampton and then get the bus that goes out to Southampton from that train station, or several people have mentioned taking the bus from the airport down to Southampton. And so if there is a strike and everything is disrupted, you might have huge wait times to be able to get on a bus, and so you might want to think of a different way to get there. But I really appreciate this update, and so thank you very much for sending this to us. And if any of you hear anything else, please do let us know. Now, our next update has to do with the Caribbean Princess, and our Let's Go family member is on there right now, and she was so kind to send us a really detailed update. So she set sail on June 18th and is doing a back-to-back, so she's on this week and then next week. And so I really appreciate, she said that first of all, I love the crew is amazing and hardworking as ever. The food in the main dining room and the Crown Grill is just as delicious as ever. Same with the buffet, so she's got no complaints there. Their cabin steward did not mind at all when they requested an evening turn-down service. They are receiving their patters as usual, and you don't have to ask for your patter. They just print them out, and your room steward will bring it to you every evening. And that's been on all the ships. I don't think that's any different on any of the ships. So let's see, the ship is sailing at a really full capacity right now. There's 3,140 passengers on. Like 5% or less of the guests are wearing masks, and of course the crew is always wearing their mask. There are 2 main theater shows every night at 7:30 and 9:30. The 9:30 show is about 3/4 full, and she's just saw like a handful of masks, and she did mention that the Bravo show is outstanding, and it really is. We've had the chance to see it on a couple of ships now, and it is a really good show. I really thoroughly enjoy that show, and I am someone that I don't think I'm hard to please, but I really enjoy Bravo. It is a really good show. She said that the quarantine is the Aloha deck from mid-forward to mid-aft on the port side. The buffet is back to being self-serve, and of course hand washing is not being enforced. And I really like that she said that after they get their food, then they go wash their hands before they eat. That's a really good idea, because, you know, and she's right, at the buffet you can have sticky spoons, or just, you know, so that you don't catch more germs than you really need to. So thank you for that suggestion. I really appreciate that. She did remind us all that smoking has returned to the casino, and so be prepared for that. There are no more of the complimentary blue princess bags. I know that on our first few cruises, like the first 3 that we did since the restart, the last one being in January on the Caribbean Princess, we did get our blue bags, but on the Regal Princess we did not. And so if anybody wants to share if you're getting your blue bags, let us know. Otherwise, just bring a little tote bag with you if you like to use those. Finally, she said, despite a few issues, the ship is beautiful and clean. Oh, I forgot to tell you, there is a little bit of a toilet problem here. I'm sorry. So she said, they personally don't have any toilet issues, but she did hear a guest 3 cabins away complain about his toilet. It appears to have been resolved. She's not heard of any other toilet problems. However, on her deck, which is Aloha, there is a sewage odor. It's on the midship section, starboard side, and they have noticed it since they embarked. And so my guess is that's just out in the hall. So that's what's going on with the Caribbean Princess. And thank you again, my dear, for the update. I was really very appreciative to receive that. So many people want to know about that, so thank you. Then you might recall that we have been having some cruises canceled, and we've had some cruise ships rearranged, and I was really appreciative of Noeline. She's in our Let's Go family, and she said that their July 10th cruise with the Coral Princess from Brisbane was canceled by email yesterday, and I looked and it is not showing up on the Princess website yet as being canceled. It says, luckily for us and others, So luckily for them and the others who were on that, they just changed it. So now that it is a back-to-back cruise of 5 days and 7 days with only slight itinerary changes. So that really helped. They have been given some onboard credit as well to compensate for that. All of the dates stayed the same. So they just took it and chopped it up into a 5-day and a 7-day and changed a couple of ports. And I love that she ends with, it's just a sign of the times with travel. So she's still going to go. They're still going to have a great time. So thank you for the heads up on that. Let us know if any of you were also on that cruise and if it's affected you or if you've had any other cruises affected. I've noticed sometimes when they tweak cruises like that, they often don't put the information on the canceled cruises page. And so I really look forward to hearing from all of you on things like that. So this is a fun update. My best friend sent me this article. So, on the Discovery Princess and on the Sky Princess and on the Enchanted Princess, as well as on the Regal Princess that we were just on, and maybe more ships, I just can't remember, they have the gelato area there. And I saw it on a recent sailing on the Regal, but we didn't try it because we were in Europe and we were just quite frankly, eating gelato import every day. Italy has extraordinary gelato. So does Montenegro. So does Greece. I didn't see any gelato in Turkey, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. I just didn't see it, and we were maybe just not in the place to see it on the days we were there. But anyway, it is really fun that the Princess Gelato shops have been designated as, and I don't speak Italian, like an Ospitalia Italiana, and they are the first and only location to offer an authentic Italian gelato experience out of Italy. And apparently to receive that designation, you have to meet certain requirements about how you make your gelato and just like the whole process. And so if you happen to be on a Princess ship and you decide that you're going to try the gelato, I think that you're going to have some really good gelato. And the next time that I'm on a ship that has that, I'm going to give it a try and tell you what I think. I am a little bit of a gelato connoisseur, so it'll be a pleasure to have to try that for you. But I thought you would appreciate knowing that because, a lot of places say they have gelato, but it's not really gelato. So the next update, really quick here, is Carnival announced this, but I am sure that it applies to cruises on all of the cruise lines. And so it's Carnival Corporation announced it. So with everything, things seem to come and go with what is required in different places of cruise ships for people who are vaccinated or unvaccinated to be able to disembark and go ashore. So there are some updates with some areas that are very likely to not allow unvaccinated passengers to come ashore. And all of these announcements, let me just read them to you in order here. We've got San Juan, Puerto Rico, if you're age 12 or older, and this is, like I said, unvaccinated. If you're vaccinated, you can get off and have the, go ashore with a Princess excursion or a ship excursion or not on your own. So in San Juan, Puerto Rico, age 12 and older will have to remain on board. Bonaire, age 12 and older will have to remain on board. Grand Cayman, the same thing, age 12 and older will have to remain on board, and the same for St. Kitts, age 12 and older will have to remain on board. For Tortola, age 12 and older will have to remain on board, and Grand Turk, it's age 16 unvaccinated and older will have to stay on board. And then finally in Cartagena, Colombia, age 18 and older will have to remain on board if you're not vaccinated. And so all of the other requirements, everything else that is required of unvaccinated guests on any of these cruise lines remains the same. But this is just what these different countries and islands, everything are requiring of cruise lines. And so I thought I would let you know that right away so that if you have got a cruise booked there, even if you have an exemption as an unvaccinated passenger, this is what these individual places are requiring so that you're aware of that. Let's see. And then also the last thing that I've got for you is MSC has announced that they had some people who had future cruise credits that they were going to expire on June 30th of 2022, and they have extended that deadline now to December 31st of 2022. And so as I talked about future cruise credits, everybody check your future cruise credits. And I would say that don't just look at what they have online for you, like go back and look at how much future cruise credit that you should have, and then get a hold of your cruise line and make sure that you've got it. Somebody left a comment yesterday that had some future cruise credits on Royal Caribbean, and they were having a hard time getting those used as well. And so maybe this problem is universal. If everybody could comment, I would sure appreciate it. But the difference is now Royal Caribbean has changed it so that they don't expire. Just the little bonus that they gave you, that part will expire on time, but the money that you left with them will never expire. And I love that. I think that's wonderful. And I'm really hoping to hear that maybe a few other cruise lines will be inspired to do the same. So, like I said, check your future cruise credits, track them down and make sure you use them, and keep an eye on your flights. Keep an eye on your flights. Keep an eye on your flights. That's everything that I've got for you. And I would submit, not only if you booked them with Princess Easy Air, no matter who you booked your flights with, just keep an eye on them so that you're up to date with any changes that maybe happened. So in the comments today, what I would really like is, of course, if you've got information or comments with the things that we've already talked about, that would be wonderful. I always appreciate it, as well as updates on any of the other cruise lines or any of the other cruise ships. I love those, and I know that they help so many people. So in addition to that, I would really appreciate it if everybody would put in the comments what you would like to know about Holland America, and I will make sure that I track down the information for you. I want to make sure that I experience what you want me to experience, and I can tell you about it, or track down just any information or anything in particular on the ship that you would like to see. I want to make sure that I video it for you, pay attention to it, and am able to comment for you. So I would really appreciate hearing from all of you, and that can include those of you who have sailed on Holland America before but haven't been on the Koningsdam, or if you have never sailed on Holland America and there is something you would like to know. I am really excited to go. Like I said, I'm sad that Gordon's not coming, but there's nothing I can do about it. And so we're just going to go ahead and go and have a wonderful time anyway. It won't be quite as wonderful, but it's going to be fun. And so I really look forward to talking to you all again really soon about all of this. So put your questions down below. If you all appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? That really does help. I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.